Welcome back to number 55. Get started down there.
Hey, Marc Herman, aka LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jan Davis-Utah, Ravens Nation.
Chris Atkins, Pittsburgh Steelers.
And I think that you owe me something.
I did.
Oh, let's see it.
I think that I've. This is what, 3 times in a row?
Should have had to get more for that onside kick attempt.
I know,
It should be
I know.
like a half, 2 or
Yeah,
something.
I should.
I do have something extra for him. I do have something extra.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take good care of this. I'm gonna make sure that this is nice and taken care of.
So, Mark, I know you didn't have a game to report on, but what's going on in Bengaltown?
Well, first thing I want to say big thanks to Jeff for stepping in on me and sitting in for me. He did a great job.
Jeff.
Thank you very much. Hooday to you, brother. We did have some news. We did try out some kickers because Nugent's been so reliable. We didn't sign anybody, so we're kind of married to Nugent for another week, but we'll see how things go. Bengals added Wallace Gilberry and cut Chris Lewis-Harris, who was immediately picked up by the Ravens. So those moves tell me 2 things. Number 1, they tell me that Brandon Thompson is probably headed to the season-ending IR. They have to make a decision by November 22nd on what to do. He's been on the PUP list, but the fact that they're bringing him in and giving him a roster spot, he's supposed to play this week, tells me that. Also, we have to designate a player to come back from IR, and it's probably going to be William Jackson III. By letting Chris Lewis-Harris go, that's probably who we're going to be bringing back. And that makes a lot of sense because as a rookie, he needs to get time, even if it's just on special teams. He needs to be with the team because he's been on IR since the preseason, and we could use all the secondary help we can get. If you saw the tackling and the coverage in that Washington game, was absolutely pathetic. Denard and Kirkpatrick, I wanted to leave them in London. So that's pretty much the Bengal news right now. Malaluga sat out of practice today, but we don't think it's anything serious, and we'll go from there. I'll cover everything else on our preview.
What are you hoping to see different after your bye week? Like, what's the one thing you went in?
Tackling. I mean, the personnel's there. All we're missing is Reggie Lewis and Leon Hall from the secondary. All of a sudden, these guys can't tackle. They're not anticipating. There's a lot of arm tackling. It's just hard to watch.
Same thing with the Ravens. I completely get that. Like the first, those 4 games that we lost seems like nothing but arm tackling.
Yeah, the yards after catch are absolutely killing the Bengals right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. What Crowder did to us at the for that tying field goal in Washington was just unforgivable. Denard looked like he didn't even know what was going on, and Kirkpatrick was out there. So
Dave, what's going on in Cleveland? What happened in Cleveland?
Well, he played a really good team. That's what happened in Cleveland.
Played really good baseball through the 7-game World Series. And we came up a little short, but hey, go Tribe, right? As far as football goes, we lost Dallas 35-10. Didn't look pretty from the get-go. 5 plays into it. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this clip in there, but it's the Irvin versus Irving fighting. Refs just don't really appreciate that, so they take both those guys out. What I really do hope is we address the center position and the rest of the offensive line in this coming draft. We just can't have that type of play, especially when the line's garbage. The one highlight, it's right here. It's Cody Kessler on the run to his right after he's flushed out of the pocket, and he hits Pryor as Pryor makes the adjustment in his route, comes back across the field, runs right with Kessler, and 21-9 right there, touchdown. It was a 12-yard deal.
Do you know how many that is for him now? How many touchdowns that is for him?
5 or 6?
Yeah, it's like some 5 or 6,
For Pryor?
Yeah.
Pryor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Pryor's
That's
been
no
awesome.
joke. And now I'm
Pryor's been awesome.
Just a couple of notes. Browns were 0-9. The last time we were 0-9 was 1975. We're 3-27 in our last 30. And the first time, this is blah, 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 blah. We are the first team since 1964 Denver Broncos to give up 25 points in our first 9 games.
Yes, I saw that too.
I just want to tie up some box score stuff. Kessler was 19-27 for 203 and the 1 TD. Pryor, he had the 5 catches for 47 yards and the touchdown. Coleman had 3 catches for 41. And I had a hell of a fucking time trying to find the Jamie Collins video, but I'll just give you the numbers. 5 solo tackles, 3 assists, and 1 tackle for a loss. So it was a good pickup for us last week.
Could have gone on the Dallas site and the Witten touchdown, Jamie Collins was completely beat and running back into the screen as Witten was going in the end zone.
He did that, and then he had a good stop on Elliott. But then the very next play, Elliott burns him for like an 8-yarder too. So
what's the highlights of you guys' game? I'm not excited to play the Cowboys.
No.
Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is exactly what people thought he was going to be coming out of the draft.
Very
not excited to play those guys.
And you guys gave up 200 yards to Jay Ajayi.
You did.
Zeke.
Yeah, they were having some troubles back there. So let's get into that
Here we
draft.
Steelers game. All right, guys. So let's review some stats. Steelers had more first downs, passing first downs. They had better third down efficiency. They had more plays, more yards, more passing yards total, less yards lost from sacks, and more yards per rush. And they also had penalties. They had more penalties. So they had more of like a lot of stuff. So what happened? The Ravens D happened. If you watch this clip right here of Brandon Williams tipping the ball after Ben throws it to Tim, and then Timmy Jernigan picking it up, catching it, it's a thing of beauty. I mean, you just look at that kind of play on defense is exactly what it is we needed. There's the block punt right here by Javorius Allen, Buck Allen on special teams, blocked it, and then Chris Moore scoops it up, runs it right in for a touchdown. And plus, not to mention Jimmy Smith and Tavon Young, they did fantastic work, not only taking care of Eli Rogers, but AB was like silenced. And like I said last week, the bye allowed us to get healthy on both sides. Ronnie Stanley was back and he played kind of like shit, but I mean, we've won every time he's there. But Flacco wasn't bad, but he did do one thing that Ben didn't do. He outplayed him. I mean, plain and simple, that 95-yard right here to Mike Wallace is what the turning point of the game was that led to the Ravens winning, all right? The Steelers penalties killed themselves, and Big Ben's clockwork timing was way off. And then, of course, there was this beauty, all right? This Charlie Brown kick, the most Charlie Brown kick I've ever seen in the NFL. But then again, that's what happens when you wear black and yellow against the Ravens. You wear the ball taken away from you. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Like, this was a great win for us. It really kind of helped us kind of get our confidence back. It was really interesting to watch the Steelers flounder in 3 quarters like they did. I mean, that was...
No points.
That's not the thing. Exactly. Held to no points in 3 quarters of the game, and you guys did much more than we did. And that's, to me, that's like, that's interesting. So, yeah. What was your take on it?
Well, first of all, usually by this point in the show, I'm just rounding out the first half of whatever beverage I happen to have. I crushed the entire beverage just to speak about this point. I'll touch on a couple of things that Jan already mentioned. This was an ugly game on both sides of offense.
It was.
I mean, there were nearly 200 penalty yards in this game, almost 50-50.
13 on you and what, 11 on us?
Roughly, but we had, I want to say, 97. You guys had just a few yards left. Almost 200 penalty yards in this game. Very ugly game. It's like the Raiders playing the Raiders. On the block punt,
the Raiders are
7-2. So don't even bring them into the conversation.
The Raiders
class
are
right
the historic Raiders.
You got to be careful with that one because Raiders are looking legit.
Yeah.
They still racked up some penalties though. On the block punt, Sean Davis, I had no idea what he's looking at here. He totally whiffed on Buck Allen, and it got no prettier from there. Jordan Berry, he kind of did like a Cam Newton. Like he saw him going to pick up the ball. It's like he slowed down so you guys can pick it up, dust it off, and run right in. Did not like what I was seeing there. On defense, you talked about the 95-yarder, the longest play from scrimmage the Ravens have had, all this and that. Artie Burns learned a lesson there, but more importantly, Mike Mitchell learned a lesson there. He comes up, he's like playing patty cake with Mike Wallace, who's the one person I did not want to see score. The one trick pulls out his second trick. Didn't like seeing that. On offense, really nothing to speak of for the first 3 quarters of this game. It was horrible in the first 3 quarters.
The only thing you guys really did was that Artie Burns got his first interception off the Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was nice for you.
The rushing game was really not working, and what puzzles me is why did we not try anything different? D'Angelo Williams comes in, he has 1 rush for 1 yard. It wasn't until the Antonio Brown touchdown in the 4th quarter we kind of woke up. That was a beautiful play right here when Ben hit him for the touchdown. Comes back, Rodgers kind of becomes the Robin to Brown's Batman. He had a great game, 103 yards there, and then just when I thought we had a chance,
Yeah,
Sammy Coates-
I'm scratching my head, my chin on the whole Robin Batman thing. Like,
he comes in, has 100 yards, he lays it in.
And then he looks surprised too.
Towards the end of the game here, Sammy Coates, he kind of breaks my heart. He had this pass. It was a perfectly thrown ball by Ben. I want to say there was like
he bobbled that thing right out of the
either
end zone.
6 or 8 minutes left. Had we gotten that touchdown, this might have been a different ending. It wasn't. We got our ass whipped for what, the 4th straight time?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that's what happened.
737 days since the Ravens lost to the Steelers.
There you go.
And
But
count.
who's counting?
I am.
Ravens
There you
fans.
go.
I'm like,
So what's happening this week?
Well, Bengals are on Monday night playing the New York Giants. Now there's some really good news here. In 2012, the Bengals were 3-5. They were coming out of their bye week. They had their bye week in week 9. They came out in week 10, played the New York Giants, killed the New York Giants, and proceeded to win 7 of the last
Rolled off,
8
yeah.
and finished 10-6.
Yep.
So we kind of got that symmetry here. We're 3-4-1, coming out of a bye, playing the New York Giants. So we need to capture that 2012 mojo. And any spark that we're going to get is going to come from the defense.
Yeah.
Offense started to look like they were clicking. The O-line is going to absolutely have to do a better job. We have given up 25 sacks. That is 2nd worst in the league. The only team that has given up more sacks is the Indianapolis Colts, which is considered to be one of the worst offensive lines in football.
Yeah.
We have better personnel than that.
Yeah.
So the O-line is going to have to start playing better. I think Eifert's going to help. We saw a spark in the red zone. We saw them running the ball a lot better against Washington. Excuse me. So, but the defense has got to step up. We cannot have Denard and Iloka and Kirkpatrick just looking lost out there. We're going to need to pressure the quarterback, and we can do that with Eli. They have a mediocre running game. They're down a guard. Pugh is going to be out this week. Victor Cruz is out this week. Force Eli into some of his interceptions.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy's got 10 turnovers, 8 picks this year already, and 2 fumbles. So he's got 10 turnovers. I think if we it's all going to start with the defense. That's the key. I think we win the game 27-20 this week. Bengals.
Under over Odell Beckham's touchdowns.
I've got Odell. Odell's going to he's going to have a touchdown or 2. I see. You know what? I'm going to go with 1 also. And I think that the Giants.
I think you're underestimating there. I think it's going to be. He has the ability.
No,
He's clicking right now.
Yeah, he's
He just started clicking.
Yeah, but we also we're used to covering. We have games
But
where we have to
it's
cover AB, so it's
It's
not
over.
like we're not
It's
used to
over.
covering a marquee guy. So, and I also think the Giants are going to do the same and take AJ out. It's going to be other people. It's going to be Eifert and it's going to be Shepard or somebody else that's going to be the
Watch out for
point scorers.
LaFell. I bet you LaFell gets one this week.
Yeah, well, he almost had one in Washington. So.
That's true.
All right, so
There you
Dave, sorry, Mark.
No problem.
Cleveland, what's going to happen this week?
All right, so it's
Okay,
2
so
of us.
it's Cleveland at Baltimore. It's Thursday night.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Color rush.
Yep.
Color red jerseys, yeah.
Go Cleveland.
So last time we played Baltimore this year, it was week 2. The Browns lost 25-20. There's that 25 number I mentioned a little bit ago. That game, Murray missed 1 field goal and an extra point, and also Tavon Young had a defensive pat conversion, which pretty much is the 5-point difference right there in this game. We were actually up in that game. I want to say it was 20-9 at the half, or 20-10 or something like that. We dominated them pretty much that whole first half. We let the game get away from us there. Corey Coleman, he had 2 touchdowns and 104 yards in that game. Dennis Pitta he had 9 catches for 102 yards, and Wallace actually went twice into the end zone for him.
Pitta didn't play last year.
We played week 2.
Oh, he's talking about regular season.
Regular season, okay.
Yeah, they were up
Pitta had
20-0 and you blocked it.
Dude, I've got like the
Dave,
worst
I don't know
headache.
what you're talking
Dude,
about.
like I've got the worst headache right now. My brain's been pounding all day. Anyway, go. I'm sorry, brother.
I think, I really hope we can get a win this week. I said last week, this would be the week to circle on the calendar if we didn't upset Dallas in a trap game. We get Baltimore, they're feeling really high about themselves, real good because they just beat Pittsburgh. I think this is a trap game for Baltimore. I don't see this as a low-scoring game. I don't see any defense being played in this game. I want to say it's going to be 28-31, and I'm going to say the Browns sneak this one out on a late field goal. What do you got?
I'm pulling for you, brother. I'm pulling for you.
So this This is like all Browns games. It has the ability to be a trap game. He's absolutely right. So don't sleep on the Browns because it could absolutely happen because it's the Browns. And the reason why is because Flacco isn't at his greatest. I mean, hell, he's barely good enough. And the Browns have
I'm not
made.
that hard on him.
I am. And the Browns have made some really tricky situations almost winnable if you look at their season. And we seem to be really good at letting points go right off the board.
Right.
So what I want to say is watch for the Pryor and Young or Smith matchup. What Terrell Pryor does against Tavon Young or Jimmy Smith. Jimmy's been playing great football lately. And it's going to be a fun matchup to see what he can do against, very surprising Terrell Pryor. And
I see Smith matching up with Pryor.
Yeah, I see Smith matching up with Pryor. Also, want to see what our safeties do against like Barnage and stuff like that. That's going to be interesting. I think our win factor here is, again, our defense. Our offense looked slightly better on Sunday. I mean, Ronnie Stanley had kind of a shitty game, but if he clears up his issues, it'll be a much better showing. Honestly, there were so many times during the Steelers game where Flacco had nobody to throw to. And that's my big concern, especially with your D and whatnot, and the fact that you do have the ability to do some things.
I think you guys, this week in particular, you guys got to get Terrence West out into the flat. Give Flacco somebody just to dump the ball off.
We still didn't establish a run game. That was something else.
1 yard or a 3 yard pickup, it's still moving the ball forward.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can quote Paul Brown, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, then you got yourself a first down. So go to that dink pass with West, and then you're going to watch our linebackers have to make the coverage.
Exactly, and that's the thing is the problem is that our offensive line is still kind of, it's not as bad of a Swiss cheese, but it's still got a fromage to it. So there's some issues that still need to be fixed up rather. So I would say that my prediction is actually going to be way different than yours. I'm going with 2014 Ravens on this. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you think. And the reason why is because I think our defense prevents you from making a whole lot of points, but I don't think our offense clicks well enough to get up there.
I think you don't underestimate the Hugh factor. I think he will have some wrinkles. He's familiar with your team.
Exactly.
And they'll go on fourth down.
They will.
They've got nothing to lose. So midfield, 4th and 1 at the 48. They're not going to send them.
And that's the thing,
what do they have to lose?
As the game goes on and the defense is getting tired out, that's where you can have those comebacks, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's why I'm staying a little conservative on this. 2014, I think the Ravens can still pull it out, but I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
And you play a fourth quarter like you did against the Steelers, the Browns
will come back.
Exactly.
I kind of agree. I mean, right now the Browns are in that onside kick, fake punt territory.
They've already insured a losing season. They're going to clean the cupboard. Everything's on the table.
They're
players available.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right,
so Pittsburgh, we are hosting the Dallas Cowboys after they just put a shellacking down on the Brownies over here. And there's a lot to worry about in this game.
Yes.
First, I'll go back to this week against the Ravens. Pouncey dislocated his thumb on a snapping hand, and he just underwent surgery for that. They're saying could be a miracle. He could end up playing this Sunday. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for him to sit down and not having your center, your anchor of your line.
It's a big thing.
Huge loss for the offense. The Cowboys, these guys really have a nucleus of some lethal players here.
They do.
And what's interesting is there's kind of a two-way race for Rookie of the Year, and they're both on the Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Elliott and Prescott are both playing amazing football right now. Elliott especially. 7 rushing touchdowns so far, which is 7 more than Bell has. The entire Steelers team has 5 rushing touchdowns, and Elliott already has 7. He has 5.
They have a great offensive line.
Their offensive line gets
It's like the 90s.
Just gets an amazing push off the ball.
It really does.
So you had trouble with Miami's. You haven't seen anything.
He's getting 5 yards a carry. Dak Prescott's doing whatever he wants to do.
I'm still trying to figure out how you guys pull this off.
I just don't see it. I just don't see us winning this game. And what's even spookier, Bell is kind of stalled out in these past couple games. Like I said, 0 rushing touchdowns so far. Not sure what's going on with him. Maybe we need to get Williams back into the mix out there. Either way,
fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
sucking up a damn spot.
Yeah.
I just can't see us winning this. I see us dropping this one
True.
33-19 in Pittsburgh.
33-19.
33-19?
All right.
You guys could find yourself in third place at the end of the week.
All right, guys, we got our mailbag speed round.
Speed round.
Woo! These are questions we got from the internet, Reddit, etc. So glad to have you guys. Thank you very much for sending those questions in. We got 2 minutes to answer them, 10 seconds to answer each question. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, and go. So question number 1, you have to pick a QB in the draft first overall coming up. Who do you draft?
Ask the Brownies. They're going to need a QB.
Nah, I don't think we're gonna need a QB. If I was picking a QB, I like that Notre Dame kid.
Okay, cool.
All
One free agent target who the Browns could realistically get in the offseason.
I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, I haven't either, really, to be honest.
Surprised Rodney White's still out there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out
He's
there.
old and done.
So, let's see. A lot of these are Browns questions. We got a lot of Browns questions today. So, is Cody Kessler the guy in Cleveland going into the next year? If he finishes the season strong, or will the Browns pull the Browns?
Cody Kessler is the guy for next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does Joe Flacco like front to back or back to front? He does neither. He instead he gets
Yeah,
Dennis
it's a bidet.
Pitta and like do it
Yeah.
for him. Yeah, exactly. He's a bidet guy. You know, I could see him being a bidet guy. All right. Let's see. Who will be able to make more of an impact with return of Wallace Gilberry? The pass rush or the pass coverage?
Oh, the pass rush.
That's what I would say. Pass
Yeah,
rush.
definitely.
Cool. And let's see. Why is Schittsburg so shitty? Is one of the questions. Right,
Did they say which team they sent that from?
Yeah,
So we're 4-4 right now, which is exactly where we were last year at this time, and went further than anyone on this couch in the playoffs.
It's anybody's division right now, so. In
and
terms of
still
us,
didn't
right.
beat the Ravens.
We didn't need to. We didn't need to.
Yeah.
They didn't make it to the playoffs. We'll just go right around it.
All right, guys. So, real quick, we're going to send a shout out to our newest subscribers. JJ Strauss-Snyder, Atazak, Andrew Moore. By the way, Andrew Moore was the 420th subscriber.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah.
Andrew Moore.
I will be reaching out to
I was
Andrew
gonna
Moore.
say, you reach out to
I'll be reaching out to Andrew Moore.
Justin McCoy, M Hot Cheese, or Hot Cheese, B Coy, and Amanda Edwards. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
Amanda,
you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, guys. Let's see, where's everybody going to be for the game this coming week?
I've got a tryout starting on Tuesday, but I'm hoping to be at 5-line Monday night if I can get the case to settle, which is in Eagle Rock in Colorado, Bengals West crowd.
Cool.
So I'm hoping to be.
Were you watching the Browns-Ravens game?
Not too sure.
Yeah, me either. I actually may have to work, so I'm not sure. But if you're in LA and a Ravens fan, go to the West Wing on Cahuenga in Hollywood. It's where all the Ravens guys are. And you got the SoCal Browns backers. Those guys are
Jerseys in Santa Monica.
There you go. What about you, Playboy?
So I'm the only one on the couch here nice enough to travel to my fellow brother's bar. So I happen to go.
As a matter of fact, right here we're gonna put up a picture of his face at the end of
yes.
it. Right. This is Chris's face at the end of the game.
And I'm not vouching him because that would be any of our faces.
Yeah, totally.
You're sitting in the opposing team's bar watching your team.
And I have props
So-
for that. Like respect.
I love coming to you guys.
Yeah.
I've been to everyone's bar on the couch, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been to everyone's
Yeah.
bar. So while I was going to Big Wings, I happened to stumble across, I want to say it's Outpost over there, like right around the corner, Cigar
Outpost,
Bar.
right, yeah.
So I want to check that out.
Nice.
Haven't been there yet.
Cool. All right, guys.
How do they reach us?
Yeah, you can always email your questions right to us right here at AFCNortherners@gmail.com. Just send that in with the subject line mailbag. Facebook. Hit us up on AFC Northerners. Reddit, we're on there too, as well as Twitter at AFC Northerners. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? I don't think so.
Let's sign off.
All right,
Let's sign
guys.
off like we always do.
Wait.
One of my favorite sayings.
Fuck the Patriots!
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Go. Hopefully everybody voted. Have a good one. Take care, guys.
55 in the books.
These guys are cracking
The
up.
officials are laughing.
They're saying, well, you've been in the league
What
how
the-
long? Have you ever seen that? No, not me either. Have you seen it?
What's that Irish dance they do, the jig?
Yeah.
That's what that looked like.